Allen and the Bills. Mahomes, Kelsey, and the Chiefs ready to defend home turf. Arrowhead was on fire. 4th and 2 early on. The Bills let you know what they came to do, and that's play ball. They signed up for 60. 4th and 2, run it with your big quarterback. First down. Tyrann Mathieu unfortunately injured there. He would leave the game with a concussion and did not return. Later in the drive, Buffalo goes for it on another 4th down. First team to go for it on 4th down twice on their opening postseason possession in 20 seasons. A toss to Devin Singletary. Huge statement from the Bills. Touchdown. And the Chiefs defense, who's been so good, having a bit of a conversation. We got to be better than that. 3rd and 6. This man is so hard to get off the field, and you're so worried about the receivers that there's a massive gap up the middle. A 34-yard gain, and the Chiefs in business. It's 3rd and 5. Again, can you get Mahomes off the field? Can you hold him to a field goal? No, he's an absolute wizard. Diving for the pylon. Touchdown, Chiefs answer. And it's 7-7. A possession for each team. And then teams settled in. Defenses began to do their jobs. But eventually, just too much talent on the field. Mahomes looking for Tyreek Hill. He's a sorcerer, Steve. Finding those windows over defenders' arms, underneath if need be. First down, Chiefs. 3rd and goal. Again, can you hold them to 3? They get a sack, but there's a flag. Holding is called on Buffalo. That little tug? Okay. Bills fans grumbling. Again, it's 3rd down. Can you get him off the field and hold him to 3? No. Mahomes, Byron Pringle. 15 is something special. And the Chiefs lead by 7. But 17's pretty good too. Quick response from the Bills. 2nd and 1, there goes the big fella. Rumbling for a first down. Hurdling defenders, actually in that case, hurdling his own running back. Can they get the equalizing score? Allen, under pressure, a wide open man in the middle of the field. That is Gabriel Davis, who would have an absolutely huge game. 75 yards in 1:15. Kansas City would miss a field goal just before halftime. We're tied at 14. 3rd quarter. Chiefs leading by 3. McCall Hardman. This guy's got speed. You can see. Look out. Hardman looked like he was bottled up. Not for long. And he too gets the same pylon Mahomes found. Extra point no good. It's 23-14. Then Allen, who has a hand cannon. That's Davis. What a toss. One play, 75 yards. Allen's got 7 passing touchdowns and 7 incompletions at this stage of the game. It's 23-21. Now, after the Bills punted, they were offsetting penalties, and they had the Chiefs somewhat backed up. Here comes Tyreek Hill. Speaking of speed, you can see. Actually, Hunter does a nice job to sort of force him back to the middle of the field. A huge return from Hill. But then I kept saying, can you get 15 off the field? Well, on 3rd and 1, we know that this Chiefs offense has got a lot of looks. That's the Belldozer. They go Blake Bell. He runs a little option pitch to McKinnon. Great tackle. Chiefs settle for a field goal. It's 26-21. Here come the Bills and Allen. 3rd and 4. Put it away now. Don't want to lose it. 1st and 10. It's 3rd and 1. Now the clock's starting to wind down. Can Allen get to the first down marker? Yes, he can. Now it's 4th and 4. Allen. What a move. Keeps the play alive. Keeps the play alive. Now he's a downhill truck. First down is Allen. Remarkable. Answering some of the moves Mahomes had made earlier in the game to extend drives. Now it's Mahomes imploring the fans to implore their defense. This is 4th and 13. Allen, Gabriel Davis, touchdown. He's all alone. Davis had made an incredible move right there. Allen saw it right on the break. And the Bills are looking for 2. This is huge. You want to get the 3-point lead. You can figure that out. And again, it's Allen. pulling rabbits out of hats. Stephon Diggs was largely bottled up in this game, but Diggs makes this catch. It's a 3-point lead. That would be huge. Actually, it wouldn't matter at all because now this game's really just getting good. 2nd and 10. There's the cheetah, Tyreek Hill. And right about here, it's deuces. See y'all later. There've been a lot of flags for taunting. I wondered if maybe there'd be one there. There was not. Touchdown. What a response from the Chiefs. They now lead 33-29. But did they leave too much on the clock for Allen? He steps up in the pocket. There's Davis again. They can't stop him. They're in Chiefs territory. They've got all their timeouts. They took one quickly there. Now 23 seconds on the clock. Allen looking for Emmanuel Sanders. The flag was for PI on the Chiefs. They decline it. 17 seconds left. Allen looking down the middle of the field. A cannon shot to Davis, and the Bills are in front again. Just in breathtaking football, back and forth from two of the best teams in the NFL, maybe the two best at this point in the season. I'm sure there's some fans out there that want to fight me. But this game was unreal, and it just got more bizarre as the Bills decided to not kick off short and force clock to be run off. And then Tyreek Hill, big gainer. Then it's Kelsey, an even bigger gainer. Timeouts are called, and they get Butker on the field. I mentioned he missed one right before the half. It hit the upright from about just outside 50. From 49, kickers in the NFL are so good, and they showed it over and over again this weekend. Butker ties the game. And we go to overtime, tied at 36 after Allen and the Bills called tails, and it was heads. A touchdown wins the game. Kelsey, first down. Mahomes, beautifully designed play to McKinnon, who's been a difference maker as he's gotten a chance to shine because of injuries in the backfield. 2nd and 6. Allen can only watch and wonder, am I going to get my chance? Hardman, get in front of him. They do. But now it's 1st and goal. Mahomes, a little subtle pump fake to the middle of the field. There's Kelsey. Are his feet in bounds? Does he have control? The answer to both questions is yes. Unbelievable game in Arrowhead. Two spectacular teams. Incredible quarterback play. Allen gave his team the lead twice under 2 minutes. Doesn't get a chance to touch it in overtime. The Chiefs live to play another day. And for the 4th straight season, the AFC's championship game will be held at Arrowhead. That's now the longest streak in NFL postseason history. The only other team to host 3 consecutive conference championship games, another Andy Reid-led team, the Eagles in Philadelphia in the early 2000s. Afterwards, the man that caught the pass that set up the field goal and the pass that won the game, Travis Kelce, talked about the emotional victory with Sal Palantonio.
I'm just so proud of this damn team, man. Adversity. When adversity hits, we rise to the occasion. I love this team, man.
17, Josh is a player, man. We're going to play in a lot of these games over time, and it's always going to be a battle. It'll never be easy, and they have a great football team, and, I mean, much credit to him, man. He played his tail off today.
I mean, we just all were part of one of the better wins, better games, I should say, in the National Football League, and we were lucky to come out on that end of it. They knew it was going to be a battle, and they kept going, and they didn't lose trust in themselves.
You have any special advice to Pat right there? Do you have any words for him at that point when Buffalo took the lead for the last time?
Yeah, when it's grim, be the Grim Reaper and go get it. So he did that. He made everybody around him better, which he is great at, and you know, he just does it effortlessly.
They both did. Both teams, both quarterbacks. Let's do our research. 25 points scored in the final 2 minutes of regulation, the most in any playoff game all time, second most in any game of any kind across the entire Super Bowl era. As for quarterback duels, what more could you ask? Both Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen threw for over 300 yards, completed 70% of their passes, led their teams in rushing, and didn't commit a single turnover. That has never happened in a postseason game, not never. And Gabriel Davis, 201 yards, 4 receiving touchdowns, the most in any game in NFL postseason history. Think about Rice. Think about all the greats. Think about all the history. Never been done. And the Bills lost. Sean McDermott had to try to make sense of that.
We knew it was going to take a heck of an effort coming out here, and I thought the guys gave us that effort, starting with Josh and all the way down the line. And, we got to obviously do some things better. But, those guys they're hurt. We're disappointed. We're all disappointed. We're all hurt, sick to our stomach. You move on and you try and get yourself to learn from it. But it stings. It stings. I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
We're disappointed. Wanted to win that game. Obviously, everybody wants to win that game. There's only going to be one champion crowned at the end of the season. So that makes 31 unhappy teams. And hats off to the Chiefs and what they did today. Pat played amazing. Got a lot of respect for him and the Chiefs as a whole. They made one more play than we did. And that's what it came down to. But I'm proud of our guys, how we fought, how we battled. We got to find a way to be better next year and to accomplish what we want to accomplish.
I don't know how that dude could have been any better. I really don't. Tim Hasselbeck here in D.C. I mean, good gracious. Look, we could start with Allen, and we're going to get to him. Okay. But to the victor go the spoils here. And the Chiefs and Mahomes had to answer him because Allen kept making plays that gave the Bills the lead. Two in particular. The Hill touchdown that gave them the lead briefly, and then the Kelsey pass that set up the game-tying field goal. What can you show us about how they got them?
Well, a couple of things. Well, one of them is because of scheme, and then another one of them is just because the players are better than scheme. And that's, I think, why it was so fun to watch this. Here's one where the players are better than scheme. Buffalo's playing two-man, which means the corner is going to play inside trail technique. It is nearly impossible, Scott, to win on an in-breaking route, but Hill does, and then because the throw is so ridiculous, he's allowed to keep his speed up and then runs for the touchdown. Then, before the field goal to tie the game, you think, well, how does Kelsey get so wide open? Well, they got him lined up as an inline tight end, but they've got four going out strong, which holds that linebacker, which creates that alley there to throw the seam between the corner and the linebacker, and you think, wait a second, they're already in field goal range, even though that drive started with 13 seconds. That's Andy Reid doing an excellent job of having a formation to attack what you're going to get in that situation of the game to give his kicker a chance. And it was the response. Think of the magnitude of that to respond. I mean, 13 seconds, you think, like Grim Reaper, Andy can say what he wants. It's 13 seconds.
Yeah, and a quick bonus question before we get to Allen. If you're Buffalo, do you spend the offseason doing the analytics of should we have kicked it short and forced them to do something that would have exhausted even a couple of seconds?
Well, I don't think you have to look at analytics. I think you say, listen, a touchback ran no time off the clock. Squibbing it, sky kick, something. Even if you give up yardage, 4 seconds could have been the difference in the game.
I'll give you 20 yards for 5 seconds. I don't care, man, for at least 5 yards, whatever the case. It's remarkable what Kansas City did. They earned a victory, and they had to because of what Allen and Davis and the Bills did. For Allen, who doesn't get his hands on the ball because we know what the rules are and people can lament them all they want, how do you best frame what Josh Allen did Sunday?
Listen, I'm watching it, and I'm thinking he's toe-to-toe, and at times doing it better than the guy that I think many people are saying is the best quarterback in the game. Josh Allen is as good as Patrick Mahomes. He is. And what Buffalo asks him to do, because think about it, we're seeing him make some of these throws. And Scott, that oftentimes is like a play or two after, they just ask him to run quarterback sweep. You typically don't ask a guy to be that accurate.
You and Steve were talking about that. How exhausted must you have been?
Oh, yeah, and you think about the fourth down play where he escapes and then is running downhill. I mean, basically, Melvin Ingram is in the backfield. I mean, he wins. That is basically Josh. I mean, that should have been a sack. So I think what he's able to do, if this game doesn't make you say, listen, he's as good as Patrick Mahomes, like, I don't know that you would ever be convinced of it. His resume is not the same, but I think as a player, he's as good.
Bonus question. Put 10 minutes on the clock in overtime and just say it's 10 minutes, and that's, what do you think of that?
You know what's funny is I have never really had a problem with it, but this was so fun to watch.
You just
I was like, I didn't want it to be over. Like, give him another chance to touch the ball.
And if your answer is stop them with 13 seconds, you're right. I get that, but I don't know who, other than Chiefs fans, didn't want a chance to see Allen get his hands on the ball just one more time. That's not the way it went. The Chiefs will host another AFC Championship game. Unbelievable. And this show's just started.